Good morning, students. Today in this lecture, we will talk about prayers, a very important topic in the sociology of religion, but we cannot ignore that this is holding again a very important place in the life of all individual. Whether one relates to any of the religion, having faith, belief on any of the religious system, but hold the significance of prayers in their life. Prayers are generally known as that they are related to the religious aspect. But one experience I would like to share with you all, that whenever we talk or we request somebody about something, then it is said that our behavior, our style of speaking to that fellow should be polite, and that includes a sort of prayer where we ask to have some help from that person. That means not only the religious aspect of life is related to prayer, but wherever when we ask for something, when we demand for something in a decent, in a polite way from other person, then there is a system which is known as prayer. In this particular video, we will discuss what is prayer and how it is reflected in the form of pilgrimage and religious festival. The social significance of pilgrimage and religious festival is also discussed in this lecture. Here one more thing I would like to share with you all, that whenever we talk about religion, we are talking in a very general aspect, not talking about any specific religion. So, in every religion, either in one way or the other, prayer is present. So, let us discuss sociologically what is prayer. Prayer is a significant and universal aspect of religion. Historians of religion, theologians and believers of all faith agree in recognizing the central position that prayer occupies in religion. Found in all religions in all times, prayer may be a corporate or personal act utilizing various forms and techniques. Yes, this is an important feature to understand, that prayer is also having a corporate feature, where in group we ask for something, we take in a form of a prayer in a group way, but it is also having a form of a personal activity where a person individually thinks and asks in the form of prayer. Therefore, prayers is described not only as meditation about God, but as a step, a going out of one's self, a pilgrimage of the spirit in the presence of God. The name can be God, the name can be supersensory, the name can be supernatural, but one thing which is closely associated to prayer, that a person get connection with the other world through prayer. It has therefore a personal and experiential character that goes beyond critical analysis. One cannot give a detailed description in the form of criticism, that whether you are right, whether you are wrong, this sort of doing prayer is correct or this sort of doing the prayer is not appropriate. One cannot give any kind of critical analysis to prayer. There are many ways by which prayer is offered. Prayer is a socialized language and perceptiveness that are formal and transmitted in a religious tradition. This is the reason that in every religion, in one way or the other, prayers are present. Because prayer is learned in a social setting, it is important to focus on how people are instructed and trained to pray. It is the result of the social environment, because whenever a child takes birth, child is just only a biological organism. It is because of the sociological process of socialization that human being is able to get settled in the social life of humans with this process of socialization, and during this process of socialization, it is given in the form of a training to the children that they learn how to do prayer. But with the passage of time, they developed their own thinking, their own experience, and then they started their own way of connecting to the supernatural power through prayers. Pilgrimage and occasion of religious festival are important in this context. So, let us discuss and talk about pilgrimage and religious festival in the further lecture. India is well known for the feature of unity and diversity, and we all are very much acquainted that there are various sort of diversities available in the social settings of India, whether it is related to the language, religion, customs, traditions, food habits, but among all these diversities, pilgrimage is that factor which unites people, and pilgrimage plays a vital role in uniting people among these diversities. These are both ancient and continuous, means from very long time we are having very sacred places which are known as, which are very popular in the sense of pilgrimage, not only in India but in the various parts of the world, and they are continuous, that they are still having their sacredness, they are still having the feeling of respect towards that place as a sense of pilgrimage. India's pilgrimages were glorified by the sacred literature. Each and every religion in India and even in other parts of the world are having specific sacred places which are glorified in their sacred narratives in the form of the pilgrimage. They are repositories of tradition and propagators of values and beliefs. Whatsoever the system is prevailing in the social life, that get depicted in the social narratives and sacred narratives, and which are reflected, can be easily seen in pilgrimages. Therefore, pilgrimages causes socio-cultural integration. While on a pilgrimage, people get the chance to interact with persons from different region with different socio-economic backgrounds. This interaction gives them a chance to learn about peoples of other region, their lifestyles, customs, and apart from involving movement across physical and cultural landscapes towards a sacred goal, pilgrimages frequently involve ritual movement at the site. For example, it is very commonly seen that people prefer to go in India to Haridwar, Rishikesh, Kedarnath, Char Dham are there, and while visiting that place, people are having a sense of pilgrimage to that place, feel the sacredness of that place with the sense of religion. But at the same time, as we have discussed earlier also, that sociology of religion studies sociologies as a study religion as a social institution and its relation with other aspects of social life also. So, now the pilgrimage is also having connection in the literature and in the real life, that it gets connected with the tourism industry also. As a result, the sacredness, the feeling of sacredness towards a particular place holds an important place in the mind of an individual personally, but that place also hold an important position from tourism point of view, which is not a part of the pilgrimage of sociology of religion. Pilgrimages are actually sacred journeys. Most people understand pilgrimage as a journey to holy place or a shrine, either in the pilgrim's native world or abroad. Like when we talk about the Char Dham, it is specifically there in India, but if we talk about Makkah and Medina and other religious places which are abroad, which are not available, are not in India. The object of pilgrimage is to obtain some benefit, material, symbolic, moral or spiritual, by which the purity of the chosen spot is believed to confer. Therefore, pilgrimages are not mindless movement or migrations either. These 2 points are very important to keep in mind while we talk about pilgrimage, that they are not just the movement as you come out of the house and go to a particular place. It is not at all a mindless movement. At the same time, pilgrimage cannot be treated as migration. They are voluntary or individual. Each is a personal act following a personal decision and resulting in a wide range of significant personal experience. This is the reason whenever either we go with a family or with our friends, or we go all alone to a particular place which is holy, which is sacred, which is having the sense of pilgrimage, but still the feeling, the experience a person get there, that is only his own personal experience. Pilgrimage is thus a journey in quest of some ultimate value. Either you go for asking for something, either you go for the mental peace, either you go for the satisfaction of life, whatsoever be the individual cause of visiting any particular sacred place or pilgrimage, there is some value and some spiritual experience which is associated to pilgrimage. Thus, pilgrimage involves the movement of a traveler or a group of travelers away from the home, usually with a specific sacred goal in mind. The institution is of interest within the social science because it can entail the cross-cutting of convention, geographical, cultural and religious boundaries. For example, if we talk about the holy places in the north of India, definitely they are snow-peaked mountains are there. And if we talk about those places which are at the bottom, means at the southern portion of India, they are covered with seas area. So, this is the thing that geographical definitely makes an impression of a particular area, and that geographical impressions affect the economic life and social life of the people of that area. Still, the people who visit to that particular pilgrimage area have their religious experience along with the social settings or systems available at that place. Therefore, two significant features which do present everywhere at the pilgrimage spot. First, they are sacred place. People have the feeling of sacredness, people have the feeling of respect towards that place, means pilgrimage are the sacred places. And second is the act of travelling or journeying itself. People have to move from their house to that particular place. Therefore, pilgrimage usually entails some separation, either alone or in group, from the everyday world of home, and pilgrims may mark either new identity by wearing special clothes or abstaining from physical comforts. Frequently, pilgrimages link sacred places with sacred time. Wherever you go to any pilgrimage or a such spot which is religiously associated, people try to have certain kind of specific dresses, because they are having that mindset that the particular place which they are visiting, they are sacred, they are holy. So, they should have something new available to them in the form of attire also, so that they have the pious feeling, sacred feeling towards that supernatural power at that particular place. Therefore, every visit to a nearby holy place is not a pilgrimage. Means if you think that regularly I am going to a temple or a mosque or a particular religious place, can that be said as a pilgrimage? No. Pilgrimage usually covers long distances and extends over a considerable duration of time. The journey to the pilgrimage center provides the opportunity for preparation of the devotee's mind for the proper attitude needed in the pilgrimage center. You have some specific attitude in your mind, because in our day to day life our mind is engaged in innumerable activities. A lot of emotions are there, a lot of engagements are there, and whenever if we want a certain change, people have the feeling of tourism, the concept of tourism is there. But if we want peace, if we want meditating area, if we want the holiness of that area, then the mindset should be quite different. The attitude towards that place is not as casual as we have while visiting to any other specific tourist spot. Pilgrimage has been one of the important sources of education also. Information and cultural awareness for the pilgrims is available only at pilgrimage center. Iravati Karve very conveniently explain in detail following three characteristics of education which are present in pilgrimage. First, the preservation of traditional knowledge. Every sacred place, whether in the form of worshipping any deity, performing any ritual, either it is some specific mantras, shlokas, whatsoever specific is there, that is the traditional knowledge, and that traditional knowledge definitely get preserved at that particular sacred place, at that particular pilgrimage center. So, this is the education which we get, this is the information which we get while visiting that particular pilgrimage center. Second point which was highlighted by Ravati Karve is its cultivation, means as I have stated earlier also, that this is the thing which is ancient also and having continuous feature also, because it is continuously cultivating, it is transmitting from one generation to another generation, and this is the reason the third aspect and the third characteristic regarding pilgrimage according to Karve is its transmission to the next generation. Pilgrimage is associated with various forms of arts, dance and music, architecture, sculpture and painting receive ample encouragement and transmission through pilgrimages, because as we are familiar, like in southern India we are having temples which are related to that period of Rama, that period which was related to the exile of Sri Ram. Tamil Nadu, Chennai, these areas are having specific temples which depict the life of Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu at Madurai. So, these places are specific, having the implications that how the life of even deity in the form of sculptures can be seen in the temples. The traditional forms of dances, the traditional forms of music still present in these pilgrimage centers give conservation to our rich cultural heritage, and that get transmitted through pilgrimages. Many of the temples in Hindus and even Jain Tirths are commendable for their artistic beauty and admirable design and conception, with the set examples for other such construction. Besides many temples, there are unique examples of architectural designs and they have beautiful painting and sculptures. A very common example which we from the very beginning of our life, I believe that students here, the Konark Sun Temple. The specific style of architecture that temple is having is unique not only in India, but people from all over the world get attracted to that particular architecture style. So, this is the thing which get preserved and conserved while the process of pilgrimage. So, this proves helpful in the spread of material culture by the exchange of ideas and goods among the pilgrimages through their particular routes. Turner holds a very important place when we discuss about pilgrimages, because Turner holds that pilgrimage is a social process and he emphasizes the communities in pilgrimage and their liminal character. He has shown that how pilgrimage is related to different aspects of social life like social and cultural integration, education, economic activities and other kind of activities. Very briefly, he gave 3 stages which form the passage of the pilgrimage. First is separation from your particular household area or from your local area when you go to a particular pilgrimage center. Second is the liminal stage, a stage where journey starts, you reach that particular center and you experience the sacredness of that particular place, and third is the coming home backstage. In this context, Turner asks us about 2 modalities of social experience. First is of structure and of communities. Therefore, Turner's typology of pilgrimage include first archaic pilgrimage, prototypical pilgrimage, high period pilgrimage and modern pilgrimages, which is of recent origin. Earlier 3 were anciently present in the world, but when we talk about modern pilgrimages all over the world in the last 2 centuries, a new type of pilgrimage characterized by highly devotional tone and personal piety of their followers. However, the message is still traditional at variance with the values of today. Therefore, pilgrimage hold a very important place in the social and cultural integration of people at particular 3 levels. First, pilgrimage promotes national and regional integration, cutting across group boundaries, because people move from one place to another for their sense of pilgrimage. Second, pilgrimage has a great impact on the group of participants themselves in maintaining and strengthening the values held by the group. And third, pilgrimages serve in many cases to reinforce the existing patterns of social relations within the area from which pilgrimage draws people. Similarly, the another aspect or another side I should say about prayers which get manifest other than pilgrimage is the religious festival. as we know that unity of diversity, when we talk about in Indian context particularly, but even in another countries also, everywhere socio-cultural ethos and philosophical worldview takes an important position in all the religions. Like cultural traits, religious festivals too have the tendency to diffuse not only vertical but also horizontal, and this diffusion of socio-cultural ethos get reflected in the formulation, celebration of religious festivals. The term festival is derived from the adjective festive, which means festal. Festival means joyful celebration. It also means day or season for public celebration or merry making. This is in a general way, but when we talk about sociologically too, a joyful public celebration or merry making on or within a fixed day or season is the essential ingredient of a festival. As I speak the term festival, definitely certain festivals must strike your mind. Either it can be Diwali, it can be Eid, it can be any of the festival of our lives which we enjoy, where we celebrate with our family members in the society, but that is just only the expression of the merry making. No, it is a community sentiments which is associated sociologically to each and every festival. The religious festival is a social expression of what sociologists or anthropologists conceive as religious experience. This is the reason that each and every festival, whether it is on any specific day, whether on any specific period, day or time, season, it is definitely having a sort of religious experience associated to every festival. Because of its association with the supernatural power, a religious festival is viewed as sacred. As it is associated and having the feeling of sacredness, it also acquires the rites and ceremonies of prayer as a mean of salutation from evil, and it becomes religious. So, this is the thing that we always keep in mind while talking about religion. It is a tradition which has routinized rituals and ceremonies. Each and every festival have certain specific rituals, and there is a specific pattern of celebrating every festival, whether it is related to the pious festival related to agriculture, whether to the marriage ceremony, or even if we talk about birth of a child, that is celebrated all over the world with some religious rites in the form of the personal festival moment of the family. This is the reason in India when we talk about there is Garbhadhan Sanskar, there is a Sanskar, Upanayan Sanskar, which is associated in the form of festival in the Hindu lifestyle. Thus, highly routinized and sophisticated rituals and ceremonies may be conducted by the priest, but other may be informally performed at group level. This is the reason that in sociology of religion, not only prayers hold very important place, along with pilgrimages and festivals, religious specialists are also there to perform these prayer and certain rites and rituals associated to every festival. Let us talk about the social significance of religious festival, that they have the significance for socialization purpose. How? Is a very common example which we see in our day to day life, that as a child takes birth, Namkaran ceremony is there. Giving name to a child is again not only just a process of fun making or merry making. No, it is a sort of religious aspect associated, sentimental aspect associated while giving a name even to a child. Then again all the other aspects are also associated with the religious aspect, spiritual aspect of life, but this simple ceremony also hold importance because this is related to the socialization purpose of human life. There are 5 major reasons which I want to discuss about the social significance of religious festival. First is the adjustment between man, nature and society. Thomas Odia in his book points out that in the annual social cycle of life, there occurs the patterned alternation of sacred profane periods of periods of celebration and periods of work. Every time Odia very clearly in his book explained that people have fluctuations in their life. Sometimes they feel very happy, sometimes our the moment of uncomfortability is there, we are not get so much so happy at that moment, there are low phases of life in other words, but whatsoever is there we make adjustments in life, and this is religious festival which teaches us that there must be adjustment between men, nature and society. If we keep in our mind our festivals of Basant Panchami, Shivratri and Holi on the one hand and Sanji, Karwa Chauth, Deepavali and Govardhan Puja on the other, we notice that our religious festival mostly fall in the periods of transition. Similarly, we are having transition in our life cycle also, where sometimes happiness or sadness is there, but this transition altering between well set seasons, rain, winter and summer. Similarly, emotional social security of the individual is possible because of religious festival. Certain festival like Karwa Chauth are intended to provide emotional social security to the individual. Festival relating to fertility cult, agriculture and otherwise prosperity, longevity of the life of the family members, these all are the emotional social security of the individual which is associated to religion. Identity, solidarity, differentiation and conflict, these are the very important social aspects of life which comes out, which reveals out in a very proper way whenever there is celebration of religious festival. And similarly, we talk about the concept of social stratification in the religious festival aspect, because in the Indian situation there is a close linkage between the celebration of religious festival and social stratification. Social stratification on India consists largely of hierarchically arranged caste, and each caste has a traditionally ordained occupational role. So, traditionally caste based occupational roles have been subservient to agriculture economy and to the social economic position of the agriculturalist. Similarly, ritual art relates to the expressive aspect of religion in India. As the previous description of Sanji and Karwa Chauth indicate that art finds a crucial place in the celebration of these festivals. Commonly we can see in our homes that whenever such festivals are there, female member in the family draw sun, moon, stars on the wall, specifically at that time where they celebrate that festival, because the presence of these natural great aspects of life gives the feeling of satisfaction, give the feeling of comfortability and give the feeling of bliss, that whole nature is there whenever I am celebrating, I am witnessing any merry making ceremony in my family or in my life. Therefore, it may be found that these forms are associated with art, drawing, painting, modeling and decoration, floral and otherwise. Thus, in order to conclude this lecture, I would like to repeat once again that prayers are very essential, whether it is for the religious aspect or for any non-religious aspect, but still the importance of prayer is always there in our life, and this is clearly get expressed in the pilgrimage center and in the religious festival celebration, because they both are having social significance in our social life. Therefore, prayers along with pilgrimage and religious festival are important concepts in the sociology of religion. Thank you.